Assalamualaikum and hi Doctor. My name is Anis Najwa binti Ahmad, matrix number 277115. I would like to present my individual assignment for Bjmp 2033, Production and Operation Management, which is about inventory management. Definition: inventory management is a method of sourcing, storing, and selling inventory that include raw materials and finished goods. Inventory management also means that having the right amount of stocks at the right place, on the right time, and with the right cost or price. The main purpose of inventory management is to ensuring that enough goods or materials are available to meet the demand without creating surplus stocks or inventory. Before I go through the inventory management, let me tell you the type of inventory. There are 4 types of inventory, and the first one is raw materials. Raw materials is an inventory item used in the manufacturing process to produce finished goods. There are 2 types of raw materials. The first one is direct raw materials. Direct raw materials is the materials that directly used by the company in the manufacture of finished goods. For example, wood that used to make a chair. Second one is indirect raw materials. Indirect raw materials is not a part of the final product, but instead used throughout the production process. For example, the equipment for the workers, such as uniform and glove. The second inventory is work in progress, WIP. In this WIP, items being processed include raw materials and other components to produce finished goods. The finished goods will undergo final inspection or quality control, and after that, these goods will be considered as finished goods. The third inventory is finished goods. Finished goods are goods that have gone through the manufacturing process and underwent every quality control and are ready to be sold to the customer. And the last type of inventory is MRO goods. MRO means the maintenance, repair, and handling supplies. MRO inventories sometimes include the items that are considered raw materials, but in this case are essentially spare parts, things that are required to operate, such as equipment and machinery. Other than that, MRO inventories also includes hygiene supplies, such as gloves and uniform, and also office supplies such as papers and pens and others. Next is benefits of inventory management. The first one is save money. Inventory is one of the largest assets of a company. If a company is unable to sell all of its inventory, it will increase the cost of losses, which also includes storage and handling fees. During the unsold inventory period, it will put the company at great risk. Therefore, inventory management is very important, as inventory will only be ordered according to the amount of demand to avoid any stock surplus, as well as reduce costs. Excess stock will cause the item to be damaged, for example, expired. The second benefit is increased customer satisfaction. Good inventory management leads to orders being fulfilled faster and delivered to customers more quickly. Customers who shop online are certainly excited waiting for their order, and there's nothing worse than when their order arrives not as displayed, late, or damaged. When that happens, customers will lose trust and are likely not to buy from that brand or company again. The enhanced inventory management process can help e-commerce and business to retain existing customers and attract new customers so that the business can grow rapidly. The last benefit is inventory management can lead to an organized warehouse. Organized warehouse help to access inventory easily. Many companies choose to put their best-selling product together in an easily accessible place in order to optimize the warehouse. This is to simplify and speed up the ordering process. There are 2 main types of inventory management system and 2 supporting types of inventory management system. Let me explain the main type of inventory management system first. The first one is perpetual inventory system. Some organizations prefer perpetual inventory system because they deliver up-to-date inventory information. This type of inventory management system works best when used in conjunction with warehouse inventory. The database of quantities and bin location is updated in real time by warehouse workers using barcode scanner. However, there are challenges with perpetual inventory system. Perpetual inventory system requires specialist equipment and software that result in a higher cost of implementation. Errors, stolen items, and improperly scanned items impact the recorded inventory record. Second is periodic inventory system. Periodic inventory systems allow organizations to know the beginning and ending inventory levels during a certain period of time. This type of inventory management system track inventory using physical inventory counts. When physical inventory is complete, the balance in the purchases account shifts into the inventory account. There are some advantages of periodic inventory system. Periodic inventory are better suited to smaller business. Errors and fraud may be more prevalent because there is no continuous control over inventory. It becomes more difficult to identify discrepancies in inventory counts when using periodic inventory system, as so much time passes between counts. Next, the supporting inventory management system. First is barcode inventory system. Using barcode is more efficient than using manual process. This barcode system will automatically update the inventory levels when barcodes are scanned using scanner or mobile device. The benefits of barcode system. All inventory transaction records are accurate, speedy and easily for scanning, update inventory on hand automatically, remove manual data entry errors, and record transaction history and determine reorders quantities easily. Second is Radio Frequency Identification Inventory System (RFID). RFID inventory system use active and passive technology to manage inventory movement. Active RFID technology use fixed tag readers throughout the warehouse. RFID tag pass the reader and the movement is recorded in the inventory management software. Passive RFID requires the use of handheld readers to monitor inventory movement. RFID have some challenges. RFID tags are much more expensive than barcode labels, and they are usually reserved for higher value items. Interference concerns have also been reported with the tags, particularly when they are utilized in an environment with a lot of metal or liquids. When choosing an inventory management system for the organization, you should decide whether using perpetual or periodic that suitable your needs. Then choose between barcode system or RFID to use in conjunction with your inventory management system. This will help to improve accuracy in scanning, tracking, recording, and reporting inventory movement. Inventory management process. The first one is goods are delivered to the receiving area of the warehouse. This can include raw materials and components for manufacturers, finished goods for distributor. Next, goods are reviewed, sorted, and stored on shelf in special stock area. Goods may be assigned stock-keeping unit, SKU codes, and tagged with barcodes for easier tracking. Inventory levels are monitored regularly, with physical inventory counts performed periodically in addition to whatever automated inventory management measures are in place. Next, orders are placed by customer, either internal or external. The order approval is verified against original purchase order, sales slip, internal purchase. The required goods are pulled from stock areas and sent either to production, directly to the customer, or route to the appropriate business. Records are updated and shared with all relevant stakeholders. Inventory levels are used to restock goods and material as needed.
With over 2,000 full-time employees at this facility, online shoppers who click buy immediately alert handheld technology scanners that tells associates where to retrieve the product and then uses an algorithm to send employees to the most optimal next item to be picked. But if you think that's impressive, Amazon's busiest employees are actually their Kiva robots.
Their strength is equivalent with an NFL linebacker. They weigh over 300 pounds and they can lift up to 750 pounds. In a fulfillment center where we handle larger items, those particular robots can lift up to 3,000 pounds.
Now the products travel in these yellow boxes called totes through 8 miles of sky-high conveyor belts until they reach another incredible technology called the SLAM line, which stands for shipping, labeling, and manifesting. This bad boy actually already knows how much your product should weigh before it ships.
So if it sees that the book you ordered is not weighing as much as it should within the computer system, it will kick off that item to the side and an associate will pick it up and address it and make sure that the right item is sent out the door.
Now it's finally time for the packages to head out the door and ship to your door. The boxes are pushed down metal chutes that are separated according to shipping preference. Workers are then challenged to a game of Tetris as they have to pack the items tightly together, wasting no space.